Hello, everybody. This is Tammy, and I am here because I want to talk to y'all about imposter syndrome. And so I'm going to go over it in the way that I understand it, in the way that it hit me actually this day. So, imposter syndrome is, and I'm going to read the definition because that's what I'm going to do. So, the definition, Dr. Mayank Saxena has written a definition. It says imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Despite external evidence of their competence, those with imposter syndrome remain convinced that they are frauds and do not deserve all they have achieved. Individuals with imposter syndrome incorrectly attribute their success to luck, timing, or deceiving others into thinking they are more intelligent than they perceive themselves to be. And that right there is the reason why I am coming on here today to talk about this. Because I know that so many people deal with this. And we deal with it in different ways, because what I learned is that for me, imposter syndrome hits like this. Like I know who I am and I know, you know, what I've come here to do. But sometimes I look at other people and I say, God, maybe I should do more like them, or maybe I should be this, or maybe I should talk about that, but it's not close to my heart. So I'm not going to talk about it. So the thing of it is when we deal with imposter syndrome, it, just like the definition said, it you think there is a point where, especially when you are receiving any level of success, but there's a point where you feel like, you know, they're going to find out, and that is the space that hit me. It's like, oh my God, are they going to find out that, I'm not whatever I say I am, or I can't do the things that I said I could do, or, are they going to find out, and that is really what the imposter syndrome is all about. It's like, are they going to find out? Are the people going to know? Because the thing of it is we are all out here doing what we feel called to do. And, as we grow and as we go on this journey, because, make no mistakes, life is a journey. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. But as we go, the important thing to note here is that authenticity trumps imposter syndrome. So if you are feeling like you have imposter syndrome and things are going on, authenticity. And what authenticity is, matter of fact, let's Google that and I'll tell you what is authenticity. Okay, so authenticity, the definition of authenticity is the quality of being authentic, um, being true to yourself and honest with you. So as you are true to yourself and honest with you, I'm telling you, your life will change and you will begin to, not experience the imposter syndrome as much. Because I'm going to tell you something. I really believe that imposter syndrome is one of those things. And now this is another thing. These days we have to have names and labels for everything. Everything has a label. You got non-binary and you have all these things, and everybody has, what are your pronouns and all these things. So they're labels. Autism, that's a label because we had those people in the world forever. They were just, usually people would like say, that's just how Uncle Joe is. That's just how she is. She's just special. She just kind of lives out there in her own planet. And we say those things. And so when we're dealing with imposter syndrome, sometimes what it is we don't know who we are. And so we are trying to convince ourselves of who we are, and that is a huge thing. It's a major thing. We're trying to convince ourselves of who we are, and we're telling other people who we are, but we have not convinced ourselves, and we don't know ourselves, the power that we carry. We don't know ourselves, how strong our desire is to do something. We oftentimes are not in tune with who we are. And so we begin to experience imposter syndrome because we think, maybe I'm not good enough. That's a whole nother level of that. It's also, thinking of not being worthy. I'm not worthy. And I had a conversation with a beautiful sister, and we actually talked about how, a lot of times Christianity can flip people in that way, because you come and you're not worthy, and you were a sinner saved by grace and all these things. And to me, it just puts you in a low vibration. That's what I have to say about that. It puts you in a low vibration. And we don't ever want to be there. We always want to be in a high flying vibration. you know so when you are experiencing, what they call imposter syndrome, where you're afraid to get out there, you're afraid to put yourself out there, afraid to put your face out there, afraid to um afraid to be who you are, afraid to be your authentic self, afraid to show who you are, because that really is the thing. In these days you kind of really have to do that in order to get some traction on social media. You got to put yourself out there. And another thing is you have to be confident in who you are. And and there are ways to do that, because I teach that. But some of the ways that you can be confident in who you are is speak to yourself. Speak life. To me, that's the major way. I talk to myself all the time. I speak life to myself. And so you want to begin, if you haven't already, begin to speak life to yourself. Speak life to your sales. Speak life to your business. Speak life to your job. Speak life to your life. Begin to share things about yourself to yourself. Begin to remember who you are. Because many times, so many of us, we don't remember who we are. And so this is that time. It's that time for you to begin to remember who you are. Know who you are. Love who you are. That is a whole extra thing. Y'all, I might have to get a little shirt or jacket or something. It was warm now. It's getting chilly, but it's getting a little later in the day. But yeah. So when you start to attack imposter syndrome, one of the things I want to say, and I haven't heard a lot of people saying this, is allow yourself not to be angry with yourself. Because a lot of times we'll be angry with ourselves. We'll be like, why didn't you talk to those people? You're networking, and and a lot of times, when you're networking, there's another case where you are not sure who you are and what you do. So when you are experiencing imposter syndrome, go to your journal, sit down and write out and get clear about who you are, what you stand for. That's another thing. What are you in devotion to? Because for me, when I began to understand that I was in devotion to freedom, freedom and intuition, when I began to understand that those are the key components of me and that I'm in devotion to that and I have to have it, it makes you do things, you know, um, makes you do things that maybe you're not sure about. You know what I mean? Because for me, it's like I have to have freedom. And what I notice about myself is if I start to feel like I don't have freedom, my God, it's like everything hurts on my body. And I start having a real bad issues and stuff. I start, not sleeping well. And, I have all kinds of physical symptoms. And it's basically, you know, not paying attention, not listening, not understanding the devotion piece, not understanding that these are things that I have to have. I am not even playing. I have to have it. And so what it does is it guides your activities. It guides what you're going to do. So when you decide and you decide what it is that you're in devotion to, you might be in devotion to health. Now that's another thing. I love health, but my things that I'm in devotion to, which are just a few things, because usually it's a few things that you can hold in that space. And so for me, it's a few things: freedom and intuition. Other than that, I've got a lot of things I like, but those are the things that drive me, because I have to be free. And I thought about it and I said, that's why travel is my love language. That's why I love to travel, because it gives me a sense of freedom. And so, back again, I want to call your attention back to here we are again, even talking about imposter syndrome, because the other part of imposter syndrome is if you don't feel like an imposter, then you're not an imposter. So, if you are able to stand in your authentic truth, you're able to speak your truth, you're able to support people in that way, you're able to be who you are called to be, then you don't experience imposter syndrome at all, or not as much, because I do believe that on some level we all experience it, no matter how high of a level that you go up, you experience it, because I heard somebody was talking about it. I think it was some celebrity that was talking about that. And I thought that is so interesting, because you would think that they wouldn't, have that kind of thing. But you know what? They're people just like we are. And trauma, drives a lot of us, because we have had so much trauma in our life. And I just saw 11:11, y'all. Been on here 11 minutes and 11 seconds. All right. But anyway, I just want to thank you for joining me. And I want you to make sure that you stick around and watch the video that's going to pop up with you over there, I think. over there, somewhere. It's going to pop up on this video. So make sure you watch the suggested video. And also, check out my Shakara series. I have a Shakara series on their playlist. So check that out, because that is, I probably will tag the video in this as well. But that is an amazing series that I just completed. And to be honest with you, I'm going to go even deeper into the Shakaras, but it's going to be another time. This time I'm doing a 7-day mini course on unlocking your intuition. And it's going to be sent to your email for 7 days. Excuse me. It's going to be sent to your email for 7 days. So every day you'll receive a lesson in your email. And so that way, if you need to keep it, you can keep it, whatever you need to do. But I'm super, super excited and super grateful just to share this, because I know that people need it. Because when you connect to your intuition, it's going to help you in business. It's going to help you in life. It's going to help you in everything, because you'll begin to learn how to trust your intuition and trust yourself. And that's the journey that we're going to go on for these 7 days. So if you would like to get in on it, make sure that you comment, I want in, or actually you can email me. My email is on the site. You can email me, or you can find me on any of the other platforms. Follow me. Make sure you're following me at Intuitive Tammi on TikTok. I go live there as well. And I also have community over there. I'm building up my subscribers so that I can do some subscriber only live, some healing and meditation, that kind of work, some reshaping our brain work, all that kind of stuff. And so that is what I want to do. But make sure that you are following me over there at Intuitive Tammi, and make sure that you subscribe if you're just scrolling by, and make sure you hit the bell so you're notified when I pop on live, because I do live pop-ons almost every day. I pop on live, and then I also have my podcast on here, Straight Out of Savannah. It's on there. And I have a new episode to premiere on Friday night with my good sis, Safriana Luna. So make sure that you are watching that. Check that out. It's going to premiere on Friday. But yeah, so that's what's going on, y'all. And so I hope that your day is magical and that everything works out for you. But yeah, so if you want in on that 7-day mini course, it's going to happen in about 2 weeks. And I want you to make sure that you send me a message in whatever other platform that you like. You can try to message me on here. I do try to look at all the comments, but I don't often all the time do. Sometimes it can be intense. However, like I said, reach out to me on any of my socials. I'm on Facebook as Tammi Morrison. Unleashing Your True Self is my business page. TikTok, I'm on there as Intuitive Tammi, and also Gen X Journey to Wellness. I'm on Instagram at I am really Tammi Y Morrison. My page had gotten hacked about a year or so ago, and they wouldn't give me back my name, so I had to do that. Plus, I was being a little facetious because I was so pissed off about that thing. 20,000 people and I lost. Whatever. All right. So, and the thing is, too, is if I was in imposter syndrome, then I probably wouldn't have gotten back on that app, which I really wasn't going to. But my husband was like, and I honestly don't do a lot on it. Honestly, if you see stuff on it, it usually comes from Facebook or TikTok or something because I don't have a lot of success on there, so I don't play those games. No need for me to waste my time. So again, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that your day is magical, lovely, and all the things, and that you are manifesting every day, and that you are walking in your authentic self and speaking your truth so that you don't suffer with imposter syndrome. However, if it's something that you are dealing with and you would like to have a conversation with me, send me a message and we can connect on Zoom. So again, have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you. Bye.